What is up, Mav fans and hoop heads? Wish everyone good vibes out there. I'm AG, your host. Welcome on into another episode of Mavs Rundown. Appreciate you all for listening. And you join me on a good night as in Kyrie's debut. The Mavs get the W in LA against the Clippers, 110-104. Kyrie's debut, he finishes with 24 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, a block. Did really well out there. Did have 5 turnovers, but hey, I mean, he's learning the new team, whatnot. You give him a pass for that. But otherwise, he looked great out there. And the Mavs looked fucking awesome out there. We can go ahead and get into this game because this was just awesome. All around game for the Mavs in general. You could definitely tell. Even the people on the TV and the telecast and everything talked about it. Like this Mavs team just seemed like they had type of they like a swag to them before the game. Just a different type of, to me, like a different type of energy. Like they were. It's kind of hype up. It wasn't something like, oh, forget Dodo or Spencer. It was more so just like, damn, we got Kyrie. Like, things are going to be different now. Like, things, especially for a lot of these guys, like, minutes are opened up. There's opportunities out there for these guys. And we'll talk about who took over these opportunities in a bit. But, I mean, there's, just a sense of, like, yeah, like, things are different now. Like, there's more minutes. We're going to be really good, yada, yada. All that type of energy and confidence into this game, and it showed out in the first quarter. But before the first quarter, so this is Kyrie's debut, but still no Luka, no Davis Bertans, and no Maxey yet. But we did find out recently that Maxey will be back right after the All-Star break, so that's really good news, especially with his injury. Didn't think he'd even be back this season, so miraculous recovery. Hopefully he's seriously like okay and good to go. Honestly, he's got to be good since I've seen him on the practice court doing stuff. So that's pretty cool. Well, like in pictures and stuff and reports. So that's pretty good and good to hear. But Luka being there in LA, that just shows too. I thought he was going to play this game at first, but then when I heard that he was ruled out still this game, but he was still on his way there. It just shows like he wants to go ahead and start building that camaraderie, that relationship, be around him and that guy, everybody be around each other, as soon as possible. So that was really good to see him there. Everyone hyped, especially during the game. Luka looked extremely pleased with Kyrie's game out there. It's crazy. I'm sure you could just tell by the way the looks he was giving. He was like, man, I'm glad we got this guy on our team. But anyway, so we had tonight Kyrie start with Tim, Josh Green, Reggie, and Dwight Powell. The first quarter, man, right off the bat, man, Kyrie's first shot that he missed, I just want to say that first missed shot, man, that just showed to me like how well and how much of an upgrade he is for us and how well he will do for us, because I mean he just made that I can't remember who the defender was, but his first shot attempt, he did like this crossover step back on the right wing where I'm talking, when I say he was wide open, dude was literally fumbling around, like still trying to figure out where the fuck he was. And Kyrie was like already just like, getting it slowly into just his rhythm jump shot. And he missed it. I mean, it hit, I think, the front rim, if I believe, like front rim, and then the back. So he's just a little bit off. But man, like, just that shot, it was like, damn, we haven't seen anybody in a Mav uniform do that type of stuff except for, Luka himself. But definitely Kyrie does it in a different, a street ball type way where Luka's more slowly methodical. Kyrie's very quick and street ball like, where it's just like, ooh, wow. Like, they definitely both have the ooh factor, but in different ways. So definitely like salt and pepper out there, man. They just, it's a good duo. It's gonna be a good duo with these two dudes. I think I'm gonna that's gonna be my new thing, man. They go together like salt and pepper. I like that. Luka and Kyrie. But anyway, in the first quarter, man, as I said, this team came out with a swag. They fell a little bit early. I think literally within the first minute, it was like 8-2 that Clippers were up or something like that. But then the Mavs go on like a 16-1 run. At one point, they go on a 16-1 run. Put it that way. That shows you how just like boom, how potent this offense is, even without Luka in the game and the rest of the guys. We thought we lost Spencer and Dodo, but Reggie stepped up big. 5 freaking threes in the first quarter. 5 threes, y'all. He had 5 threes in the first quarter. 15 points, tied his career high, or it was his career high. And I think it tied it, or it was his career high in for points in a quarter. 15 in the first quarter with 5 threes. Just hitting, and a lot of them were just wide open. So he had like one or two that were contested, but most of them were wide open. He was just knocking down the wide open shots. Defense for this team, really the whole first half was amazing. The energy was high, so everybody was on their movements, on their pickups, switching, getting to where they run into where they had to be, closing out. Really, honestly, doing a good job of staying in front of guys. Like they were just in contesting shots. So, into the first quarter, Mavs were up 41-25. Like the Mavs were just doing high scoring first quarter all season with a Kyrie. So that's pretty awesome. That's definitely good. And on top of that, no turnovers in this first quarter. No turnovers at all. That's definitely good. Things changed here a little bit, but no turnovers in that first quarter was really good to see. Kyrie had 8. And Tim Hardaway had 8, leading us along with Reggie Bullock with his 15. Second quarter, just a continuation of the first. Mavs continue to play well. However, the Clippers are going to Clipper. They were basically they're fully healthy, and they made a run towards at the end of the second quarter. That they make runs in the sense of they start to claw their way back into this game. And Mavs were up basically like around 16-ish with all this big lead and whatnot. But then at halftime, Mavs only had an 8-point lead at 60-52. The energy was great though this whole first half. Like they were still doing a great job forcing tough shots that they had to make. Mavs really played like great defense for like that 20 to like 20 23 seconds, that range, like right till the very end, and then all of a sudden they get a wide open look or a guy just make a great shot over a great defense. So just that just shows the greatness of the Clippers and how good they are. Halftime, Kyrie had 13, Reggie still had 15, Josh Green had 8, Tim Hardaway had 8. Mavs had 15 fast break points compared to Clippers 2 points, but Mavs 15 fast break points. Let me double check. I didn't even finish double checking how many fast break points they finished. 24. I know it said our season high is 27 the other night in Utah, so 24 tonight. The pace is changing. I know it's going to change a little bit different with when Luka comes in, but that's good to know that you could be versatile. That's what all championship teams need to be, is versatile. And I think that gets lost in the whole, we got to get perimeter shooters, we got to get that. Well, we just need to be able to play all different types of ways. And I think now with Kyrie, that kind of honestly unlocks it, because the way the guys were starting to run in the Utah game, and then Kyrie just fits so well with that type of style. So whenever, like they said, whenever Luka is off the court, like I think the offense is going to be great. They're going to be moving, they're going to be running, everyone's going to be, doing their thing. The ball was humming. Like what I'm talking about, this ball was finding energy, man. It was everybody was moving the ball around. It was really good offense for the Mavs, especially obviously, as I'm saying, fast break points, getting layups and whatnot, turning these turnovers that the Clippers had, or missed shots into transition buckets. That's awesome to see. Mavs shot 53% from the field, 52% from 3, as the Clippers shot 42% from both the field and 3. I give that credit to the good defense the Mavs were playing with in that first half. So the third quarter happens, and Kawhi Leonard this basically third quarter goes to Kawhi Leonard because he had 13 points in the quarter and really brought them back into this game. At one point, I think it was, I don't know if it was just him, but they were saying like 7 straight buckets. And I don't remember if it was the Clippers as a whole or if it was Kawhi scoring 7 straight. Obviously, if he scored 7 straight, that wouldn't put him at. Just did the quick math. All right, so I'm dumb. But anyway, so Kawhi Leonard, they had scored basically 7 straight times on us, and Kawhi had 13 in the quarter. It was not a very good quarter for the Mavs. Let me check. It was a 21-point quarter. Ooh, at 19. The second quarter for the Mavs, just want to go back to that. It was a 27-19 Clippers advantage in that quarter. That shows that right at the end of that quarter, the Clippers made that run, really cut into the lead. In the third quarter, they kind of started to do the same. Now, getting back to the game, let me move this stats back real quick. My bad. All right. Now back to the game. So at the end of the third quarter, the Mavs were up 81-78. It's a 3-point game, ball game going to the fourth quarter. And who would have thunk it to be the player of the fourth quarter or to score the the most points in the fourth quarter for the Mavs in this game? But Theo freaking Pinson, man. He's more than a what they say. He's more than a hype man. He's a hooper. This dude had 9 points in the fourth quarter. Great. He stepped up big time, making big time shots. Not just, wide open threes, but he was also driving, making plays, driving to the basket, being aggressive. Just honestly great stuff. His best game as a Maverick by far. Great stuff by him. Tonight, all 9 of his points, all in the fourth quarter. Good stuff. Kyrie had 8 in the fourth. Was able to. I love the way he plays because he really doesn't force anything. He really lets the game come to him, and now of course he knows when it's game time. When okay, we need to get a bucket, put the ball in my hands type shit. And it was almost frustrating at times because I'm like, oh, just give it to Kyrie. Like when there's the times running low on the shot, just give it to Kyrie. But he didn't force it. I give him credit on that end. I know that it's not going to be the same, especially like playoff time. They're going to just, give it to Kyrie, let him go to work earlier than that. But, it's good to let all these other guys, because you got to let some of these young guys grow, like Jaden Hardy and Josh Green in this game really did well in their minutes. They continued off their game. They didn't have, season high or career highs like they did last game, but they did very well in this game as well from what I've seen. Jaden Hardy still got to clean up some of the turnover mess, but Josh Green still did very well in his minutes. But yeah, the Mavs able to finish them off in the fourth quarter, fight them off. They got it really close in the fourth quarter again, but again, the Mavs were able to just come away with bucket after bucket, when they needed to. And the name of the game is, who could put the ball in the hole. So that was able to prevail for the Mavs tonight over the defense that the Clippers are able to present. And Mavs win 110-104, man. And Kyrie's debut was awesome to see. Great game. As I said all his stats before, but he did a great job, man. And Josh Green tonight, 14 points, 5 rebounds, assists, 2 steals, a block. He was 5 of 7 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, 3 of 4 from the line, and was almost like a major ball handler tonight. He was basically point guard. Kyrie was playing very off ball, and it had like Josh Green basically pulling it up. Him and Tim Hardaway basically like almost main ball handlers at certain points. Of course, before Kyrie would take over. But that just shows to me that should show to everybody else that Kyrie can play off ball, does it very well. And efficiently at that too. So good stuff from those guys. Josh Green, as I mentioned his stats. Reggie Bullock finished with 18 points, 6 of 13 from the field, 6 of 12 from 3. Also had 5 rebounds and 6 assists and 2 steals. Great stuff by him. Good defense and whatnot. Really stepping into his role now with all the minutes opened up, shots opened up. Reggie's, I know he's loving that because that's how it happened last year. Tim got hurt, and he was able to pick up more shots, and then that kind of just boosted into this whole, him getting hot from three at the end of this season, going into flamethrower mode into playoffs. So that's good for him getting all these shots. Tim Hardaway tonight had actually a good game. I'm gonna give he had a good game tonight actually. He had 19 points with 5 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal. He was 7 of 16 efficient, 4 of 9 from three, 1 or 2 from the free throw line. But he still had a great game. I feel like defensively, he wasn't that much of a liability. Liability. Excuse me, guys. I gotta take a drink. I'm so excited. Talk about these goddamn Mavs. All right, so Tim Hardaway, good stuff tonight. Offensively, he was able to be efficient in his shots and his shot taking. I didn't have any moments tonight where you're like, "Oh, Tim, why'd you do that?" It was, it was honestly a really good Tim game. Very efficient, something that we would want to see more consistently from Tim, to be honest. Off the bench, Seawood came off the bench tonight. In his 17 minutes, he only had 6 points, 6 rebounds, and assists, and a block. I really think that thumb is affecting his offense. He's trying to come back as soon as he can, I feel like, but to play. But his offense isn't looking like he was before, and I really feel like that has to do with the thumb injury. Like maybe he just can't grip the ball right to like shoot it right. It feels like uncomfortable shooting, especially being with like a big man with those big hands and stuff. So maybe that's the deal, and he just doesn't isn't shooting as much, being as aggressive shooting wise or whatnot. But I think it'll come into form. Maybe he's just getting back into the groove. Got to knock the rust off, so I'll give him another pass. Got to give him a few games, kind of get adjusted and whatnot. Especially now with a new player like Kyrie. So, but I think him, if he's still on the team by next podcast, I think him and he would feed very or do eat very well. He would eat very well off of Luka and Kyrie pick and rolls, especially in the playoff time. So hopefully we can get him right, get him going. If not, with the whole trade ideas going on, which I'll talk about. Actually, I'll try to get to here at the end. Actually, I'll just address it now. If Mavs can make a trade for Seawood, Tim Hardaway to get DeAndre Ayton tomorrow, oh man, that would be wild. Because imagine all these pick and roll. We got Dwight Powell trying to get it, Seawood. We're thinking he's more offensive potent, so he's trying to get it. But imagine if we had imagine if we had DeAndre Ayton down there, and Kyrie just feeding all these open passes they're getting inside to these guys, where Dwight's just not tall enough to just easily finish over the guys, or Christian was just not big enough to just kind of take advantage of a smaller guy down low or something like that. Like DeAndre Ayton can fix those problems very well, and will easily have like 30 on any given night with those two. So, I mean, if that type of trade happens, I mean, I'm all for it. So, just want to give my 2 cents on that. If that somehow happens, however, I will also take Miles Turner too, or something else, because I've been thinking about it. I think if the Mavs could somehow swing like a wing type player, I think there could be, and then maybe take like John Wall off a buyout, or go and get another third guard like a Jordan Clarkson or whatever, and then maybe get Crowder from the Suns off of a buyout, and then that's a get your wing. Or maybe you make a trade for a big, and then you still get Crowder, that gets your wing, and then you just roll with Luka, Josh Green, and Kyrie as your ball handlers. I don't know, but I definitely see the Mavs trying to make at least one more move to try and fill some type of hole for this team moving forward. But oh yeah, but just wanted to face those trade facts real quick while they were on the top of my head. Back to the game real quick. Finish off the roster. JaVale McGee played great in his 7 minutes. I got to give him props. He looked like the JaVale McGee we wanted to sign this offseason. He didn't really score much. He only had 2 points, but he had 5 rebounds and 3 blocks in his 7 minutes. So he did really good in that time. And if you were watching the game, man, his energy was all over. He wasn't looking like the beginning of the year where he was all slow, kind of DeAndre Jordan like when we got him. He had JaVale McGee look like JaVale McGee kind of tonight in some type of form where he was energized. He was all over it because I don't know if there was a trade. It could be, which hopefully good moving forward. But he looked good tonight. McKinley Wright got some run in. Didn't really do too much. Got three rebounds and assist. As I mentioned, Theo Pinson 9 points, 3 of 4 from the field, 2 of 2 from three. 1 or 2 from the free throw line, but also had 2 rebounds and 4 assists. Was great, making decisions at the end of the game, moving the ball. Didn't do anything to mess up or really mess up the game. And then Jaden Hardy, man, in his 12 minutes he got off the bench, he had 8 points, 3 rebounds. Did have 5 turnovers, which is probably why he got limited minutes because he definitely could have get more, but. He just got to learn. He was kind of just fumbling the ball a little bit too much. I think him having Kyrie on this team is giving him confidence, but it's also making him maybe a little bit nervous. But I think just being around Kyrie all the time now, I think that's honestly really going to help Hardy in his game and his just confidence because then once you have a guy like that, you're around him playing, pick up with him or, shoot around with him and stuff. You're just gaining confidence and knowledge through, playing with another basketball savant like that or playing with a basketball savant like that. So you're just going to gain knowledge. I honestly feel like Hardy, he's going to have that effect where all of a sudden he's going to have a Cam Thomas type effect where, you see what Cam Thomas is doing. I'm not saying Hardy's going to drop 40 in 3 straight games, but I think it's going to have that effect where all of a sudden it's going to really help Hardy in his development and gaining confidence knowing that, hey, I can do this type of stuff against anybody. I've seen this guy, Kyrie and KD do it, so all of a sudden, I could do it. And now Hardy sees, hey, man, I'm going against practice. I'm going against Kyrie and Luka doing this type of stuff. Like, man, now it's time to translate it to a game. I could see that in Hardy, so that makes you excited for the future. And the Mavs get a victory, 4 games above 500, 30-26. Let me check the standings real quick because I did not have that pulled up. But the Mavs are now 4th in the West because I know the Clippers were above us before this game, but now we give them an L, we get a dub. Mavs are now in 4th in the West. I don't know if the Suns are playing tonight. Let me check. Or they already finished. Okay, so these are the final standings for tonight. So when you listen to this, updated standings on Thursday. Mavs are in the 4th seed going to the trade deadline at 30-26. Great stuff, man. A great spot to be, especially with how this season has gone. Very kind of up and down. We're a middling team, but all of a sudden we're starting to hit our groove, make the major trade, boom, and all of a sudden I think things are starting to click. If we make it one more minor, another move, maybe help shape this roster. Mavs can really do something this year. Can make some noise. So, next game moving forward, it's Friday, February 10th at Sacramento. It's a 9:00 start time. Be ready for this, guys. This is when Luka possibly could be playing, and it could be the Luka Kyrie debut. So be ready. And we play them back to back Friday and Saturday. So Luka will probably play at least one of those games. I don't know which one, or maybe they might, or something like that. But I know they're gonna play. Both of them are gonna play at least one of those games. That would be nice to see. So good stuff. Y'all be ready to check those out. Both games on Friday, Saturday at 9:00. So don't forget that one. That's all I got. So, if you want to follow on Twitter, it's at Mavs_rundown. This Mavs Rundown podcast is free on YouTube. It's also on Spotify. I'm AG. Thanks for listening. Remember, cool heads prevail. And I'll see y'all next time on the Mavs Rundown.